You're now listening to the 1130 podcast. Enjoy the show.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 1130 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 1130 podcast, Dre on Wheels.
Y'all already know what it is, y'all, man. Welcome back to another episode of the 1130 podcast. What's good, man? Y'all already know, man. It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels, man. Back at it with another episode. You know what time it is. It's not 7:30. It's 11:30, man. It's time for the podcast show. Before we dive into everything, man, if you're new and you haven't done so already, I don't know what you're waiting for. Definitely hit that subscribe button down below. You guys, man, like it, you can comment, share it, do all that great stuff, and don't forget to follow the 1130 podcast on all social media platforms. All right, man, now that's out the way, I got an awesome guest that's going to be joining in on this week's episode, you guys. Yes, man, all the way from Switzerland, man. This is actually going to be fun and exciting, you know, especially for me and everyone who's tuning in. People who tune in from India, had guests in from UK and Africa. So many international flavor coming to the 1130 podcast show. So that's amazing. But you guys, man, like I said, an amazing guest that's going to be joining me on this week's episode, Dr. Cornelia, you guys. Yes, she's an electrical engineer, you guys, and also she's an energy strategist. We're going to be tapping in with her and getting her story and her background, and it's going to be cool, you guys. But we're going to waste no more time. We're going to actually bring her on right now. Cornelia, how's it going?
Hello everybody, and thank you so much for having me on your 1130 podcast. I'm really excited to come all the way from Switzerland.
Yes. That is awesome. Like I just mentioned, you are from Switzerland, and what time is it actually there right now? Is it 6:30?
It's in the evening. Yeah, it's 6:45, and actually it's just about getting dark. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How is it in Switzerland? Because I'm obviously here on the stateside, and I don't have a passport just yet, but I haven't went internationally. But how is it, in Switzerland?
Yeah, normally now we are all looking forward to spring. And so this is, so it's getting warmer during the day, but nights are still chilly. And we were lucky we didn't have such a cold winter this winter. Especially important now, as you mentioned, speaking about energy. I don't know if you heard about it. Like the last 2 years, there were like this energy crisis in Europe. So people were kind of a little bit worried, if there will be enough gas and electricity during the winter, so everybody can heat and have enough, warmth and light when the days are long and dark and short. So now we're looking forward in summer.
Okay, cool. But once again, I appreciate you for coming on the show and for taking the invite. But for my listeners and viewers, before we get into everything, can you tell everyone about yourself?
Okay, just before I dive in, just one curiosity, because I studied in Baltimore at Johns Hopkins. So I was just, and I spent quite some time in DC, like all the Smithsonian museums. And so is the cherry blossom actually already on, or it's still too early?
I think it's still too early. I think about in another maybe 3 weeks, then the cherry blossoms will start coming out. I think it's the second week, if not the first week. Because spring came early this year, so I think it's maybe roughly 2 or 3 weeks. That's when everything is gonna start blossoming.
Oh, I love it so much. It's so beautiful, and I really enjoyed always being in DC. So happy you. So coming back to your question about me, I'm as you mentioned, I'm an electrical engineer, and I'm a scientist. I did a lot of research, my PhD, and I can tell you for a very long time, the only energy I knew was electric energy. And so I was really always very fascinated how it's working, how the electricity comes into the socket, and we can do all these magic things, and even recharge our phones and everything. But I have to admit that I did then some more research, because I'm really curious, and I discovered the quantum field. And now you may think, oh, wow, what's that? Maybe I've heard about it, Einstein and something, right? But actually, it's very fascinating, because it triggers the thinking that what is if everything is just energy? Our bodies, our cells, in a way, it's proven that they're kind of all these electrons and atoms and protons. So, and like the laptop and everything around us, it's just kind of energy vibrating on different frequencies. And even our thinking, or our health and our relationships, if you just, play the game and say, what's if everything would be just energy, like money? And I figured out that life becomes a little bit different, and I perceive it much easier if you just see as everything as is energy and frequencies.
Okay. I think that is very interesting. I think we're gonna because one thing you did start and you thought it was the whole electricity and how we get electricity and everything was very interesting. I have a little kid and I've been there before too as a little boy. Get interesting about electricity and cutting the switch on and off or putting something in the socket and whatnot. Where did this begin for you? Was it something like that? Did you how did you get into loving electricity then
Oh,
electricity?
I can tell you really a cool story. And actually, I was always, yeah, as I said, it started when I was 4, actually. So maybe I don't know how old your kid is, but at that time I was always so impressed when my mom plugged in the vacuum cleaner or the mixer, and then boo, and then magic happened, right? And I thought, what's in there to make this happen? What's so powerful? And then one time I was playing in the outside, and then I found this. And I thought, wow, that's cool. So I took this really long nail and went back into my room. So I sneaked back in. And then I did something I wouldn't recommend doing anybody, especially not any kids, right? I put it right into the socket. And then the next thing, luckily, I could remember was that it was kind of lying in the middle of my room, and my mom kind of bending over me and kind of completely freaking out. And then, what happened? And then, so luckily, the installation in our apartment was really well done. So the security was faster than me hitting the full current, but still it kind of threw me backwards. And at that time, I just thought, I really want to know how the electricity gets into the socket. And I can tell you now, after my studies, I know.
Wow. Okay. All right. I mean, that sounds like when you're saying that, all that I can picture is that it's something out of a movie. When a little kid or teenager is just getting bored in a way, or just want to experiment, or having these
Exactly.
um uh, 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 these thoughts and these ideas in their head, and they just say, okay, well, let's try this though. And that was that moment for you though. It wasn't more so like, oh well, you know what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to experience that no more. But it was actually the opposite. I actually want to know how that electricity sort of get where it's going or in the socket.
Yes, in a way, it's also, when you're a little kid, I thought, hey, this is so powerful. And if I understand, if I know how it works, then I'm powerful as well, right? So it's kind of this superwoman vision.
Okay. So you thought you maybe a superhero, like something like that, maybe, thought you were
Exactly.
Superwoman.
Full of power, full of energy, and actually it's kind of still a little bit like this. I think maybe I really kind of stored a little bit of this powerful electricity in me, because since then I was always full. I'm full of energy, right? So it was a little bit tiring and annoying for my mom because it's like I would never stop doing or asking or whatever. So, but in the long run, I'm very happy with it because there's so many people like exhausted from our daily life, and we all have so many obligations with our jobs and families and kids and aging parents, and then you also want to have some time for yourself. So I figured out, the one thing you really need is energy, because I still know for many people time is their most precious currency, because we know all about time management. But actually, if you think about it, our time is limited. It's 24 hours for everybody. But if you really know how to do it, your energy isn't. So if imagine you have so much energy, so you can do more things at the same time. You're higher efficient, more productive, and it's even fun because you're not so exhausted and so tired. So that's what I've figured out, and that was kind of all the research I was doing on. So how can I have more energy in my life, right? For me, I had, but I saw people around me, they hadn't, right? And it's also, if you have a little kid, if you look at kids, normally they never are tired. Of course, then when they are tired, they fall aside and then they sleep. But they can, try to stand up or how to try to walk or to ride a bike for hours, right? They have this unlimited energy. And just the older we get, we just kind of forget about having this energy, and it's so much more fun.
I like that. You're right. You're definitely right. My 1 year old got all the energy in the world from the time he wakes up, from the time he go to sleep, and he's a boy too, so he likes to do just about everything though. But energy, personal energy, and energy itself is definitely a big thing. We sort of like you mentioned earlier. From the sockets, from everything, cutting your TV on, you're plugging your phone up, or anything, your fridge, your stove, everything sort of runs on electricity and energy. And some people may not also realize that the human body also runs off of different frequencies and different energies. And I always say you gotta protect your energy as well. You gotta protect that space that's sort of around you, that that space and that energy around you that you have, because when you do come in contact with other people and other energies, they can definitely throw off your frequency. So I definitely understand where you coming from with that though. On another note though, being a being in energy, and we're talking about personal energy. How did you keep sort of your energy up, or when was the moment you realized, like, I'm gonna really get into this? Was it sort of in school or after school that you sort of pursue being this personal energy strategist?
That's a very good question. And actually the thing is, I always, like, through school and through my studies, I always had a lot of energy, because I kind of really enjoyed doing it. And then if you have this intrinsic motivation, then it kind of generates your own energy, right? And it keeps you up and running. But when I was kind of, I started my family, as you already said, and with two little kids, and I also, I still had this superwoman thought in my head, like, I can show the world, I can be everything, right? I can be the perfect mom, I can be the perfect manager at work, perfect spouse in the community, perfect daughter. And then I just noticed this perfect approach doesn't work, right? You can't be perfect in everything, and there is even no need in it. But I realized, by trying to fulfill all these expectations, especially my own, right, that I was running out of energy. So I also experienced by myself how it feels when you don't have any energy, which I hadn't before. And that was kind of when I thought, I'm an engineer. So I also thought, yeah, I have this problem. I'm having no energy. So I started doing research. How can I solve it? And that was actually when I discovered the quantum field. And even Einstein said, in the quantum field, there's unlimited energy. So I thought, there is energy. I need energy. There must be a way how I can access this, right? And then as I said before, then I kind of started observing kids. They're having so much more energy, and I realized they're kind of continuously connected to this quantum field, and they're recharging their batteries. And I did that before. I just lost somehow the connection. And that's when I then kind of experimented and also developed tools and exercises how I can like recharge my energy like this. I can clean my energy like this, because I'm very busy. I have so many things to do. I don't have most of the time to meditate for half an hour or something. I want to have quick fixes I can use in that moment. And that's what I figured out. People started asking me, how are you doing it, right? And then I showed them exercises, and they worked for them as well. And so that's how I got into these personal energy strategies. So my goal or my mission in a way is, when we don't have much energy, we are in this survival mode, and life really seems hard and difficult. But I experience, when you have so much more energy, then you see so many opportunities and solutions what you can do, and you, on top of that, you even have the energy to execute them, to do them. And that's what people perceive as life is so much easier, because you can choose and you have opportunities. And that's
Gotcha,
what I'm
gotcha.
teaching.
All right, all right. I definitely understand. I definitely understand about that, man. You definitely have to have high energy to focus, to manage, to live daily, in your life, to you know focus and do what you have to do. So I definitely energy is definitely important though, especially when you definitely have kids though. Another thing you spoke on in the beginning, though, you said obviously you're from Switzerland, and you mentioned you guys deal with electrical issues in Switzerland where the power is not so great.
Yeah, actually, it's not really in Switzerland, but I don't know if you remember it. Actually, it started 2 years ago with the war in the Ukraine, as
Yes.
Russia marched into Ukraine. And the energy supply in Europe is very much relying on gas delivery from Russia, and that was kind of stopped because of the war, and that's caused the crisis. So because there are some gas power plants using the gas to produce electricity, and if there is not enough gas, especially in winter, then it's kind of tricky. And that caused a lot of in a way problems, and people were called to save energy, so to use less, to heat less, to switch off lights when they are leaving a room.
So
And so
so are
they
you?
really save
No,
the
I don't.
energy. Sorry.
Okay, no. I don't want to cut you off. No, 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 be sorry. So I just want to understand. So, are you saying due to what happened, with the war in Ukraine, uh, it's possible that and even at sometimes you guys may could go without electricity during the winter because it's not enough the gas supplies to go around.
I think now it's less likely, but the war started in March, and the problem here was also that most people start buying gas in summer, and so there was, after the winter, there was not a lot of gas left, right? And there was no new gas coming from Russia. So they had they have to develop, we all had to develop new ways on how to get gas, right? So it won't come from the pipelines. So of course, then we had this liquid natural gas, like when you make gas liquid, and then you could put it in a tanker. So they had to build new terminals so that these tankers could, come to Europe and bring gas, right? Because there were no pipelines, not much pipeline gas left. And that was kind of the tricky situation, the first winter there. And even the second one, but now there are a lot of new terminals. And so we get a lot of liquid gas, and which we can use. But here it's also, it's completely different, because liquid, the gas transport from Russia was kind of a local market. It was coming from Russia by pipeline, but now this liquid market, it's a world market. So now Europe is competing with Asia for this liquid gas. So most of it is coming actually from the US. And so if they're like in Asia or China is paying more for gas, then less gas is coming to Europe. So it's kind of really some interesting developments, and you have to be prepared.
Hmm. I think that makes I appreciate you sharing that. If a lot of people it's some who may not pay attention to the news or certain stories and situations like that, like you just shared yourself. Because I run into different folks, and they come across me and share different stories about how I think us in America sometimes become complacent and just I can't find the right word that I'm looking for, because you guys have to sometimes could be less fortunate to get gas or have electricity, to where it's like here it's a switch on the wall, and you have electricity and you pay the bill and you have it sort of all year round. I think you know you you guys in a situation like that is very inspiring in a way, because and it also it's a struggle, and it's sort of, I mean, life ain't fair, but it's not fair that a situation can cause that. But I think as well that we live on all of these gas and electric, and sort of got to find a way. I think we could find a way how to produce it, especially electricity ourselves. Then I think we'd be headed in a good way.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you for pointing it out. But I just want to clarify, so far there were no electricity shortages or blackouts or brownouts. So we definitely managed. But yeah, we had to, look into it to find a good solution. And what we also have is a lot of renewable energies like photovoltaics and wind. But of course, in winter, when there is snow on the houses, then there is of course less photovoltaic production, but there is a lot of wind. So we looking into other renewable sources, and the goal, of course, is in the long run to be not dependent on gas anymore. That's the goal of Europe.
Hmm. Definitely should be definitely a goal, though. Definitely a goal. What motivates you? What inspires you right now?
What inspires me, my work actually, because I'm on one side working in the Swiss energy industry to really make sure shaping the Swiss energy future, which is electric energy. And on the other side, it's like I'm working with so many people to make sure they have enough energy, to live their life, the life they want to live. And so for me, it's this holistic approach and looking at energy that really makes my heart sing. I really enjoy it. And and with energy, it makes such a big difference, and it's more fun.
All right, it's more fun. All right. You have an ebook out right now, and it's available right now. Am I right?
Yes, it's
Called
on.
the Energetic Stress Management.
Yes, that's my ebook. That's on my homepage. But I also wrote, I just published it at Halloween last year, and it's about called "Change Your Energy, Change Your Life." And if you don't want to have them anymore, so you need to change your energy, right? So that things get out of your life. And so and one chapter is actually I'm coming back what you said before, right? Which I really enjoyed that you were saying that when we, because this energy is around us, and if you're standing to people next to us, we are kind of picking up other stuff, and our energy exchanging. And that's exactly why I launched the book at Halloween, because I said, um, you also use your energy work to protect from energy vampires, right? Because we all know that there are people around, they kind of suck our energy out of us, right? And
Yeah.
there is also some exercises in the book where you can protect from energy vampires, so you keep your energy by yourself. How you can set energetic boundaries, especially important for people who have difficulty saying no to something, because when you have this energetic boundary set around you, then people most of the time they don't even ask you, right? Because you have this really strong buffer around you, and people don't even dare crossing that energy and asking you for things you don't want to do. So, and I think, and there's one thing I also would like to add, which you also said, that when our energies mingle, right? So we all are so used to clean our bodies, right? In the evening, we brush our teeth, wash our face, take a shower. But who of you, are you, cleaning your energy body every evening? You pick up so many stuff from other people. And then, so it's so important that you clean your energy body as well. And what I've noticed with many people, that when they started cleaning their energy body in the evening, which is, it takes 2 to 3 minutes, they sleep much better because it's only your energy around you. So it really supports your sleep, and then you're much more recovered in the next morning and have more energy.
Mhm. You're right. You're definitely right about that. You gotta protect your energy, and I like to say, protect it at all costs, because people would definitely come in, especially if you are a high energetic person, where it's just you're just so bubbly and just so full of energy, and a lot of people who could be down, could be miserable, and just don't have a lot of energy, and like to come around someone such as like the high energetic person and just suck their energy away because of all the stuff they got going on or whatever. But look at Dr. Cornelia, I appreciate you for coming through here on the 11:30 podcast from Switzerland. It's very, very amazing. Before I let you go, though, you have any questions? Any thing you would like to say? Any questions? Any shout outs? Anything you would like to say, or where they can grab your book at?
The book is it's easily available on Amazon.com, or any bookseller is you can get it there. And actually, when we launched it, it was even hot new release on Amazon.com. So I was really excited about it. And what I have a question is, so what did you get out of this? Is there anything you're kind of taking with you for your
Uh,
family life, for yourself?
yeah, because like I said, when I saw, coming, on the podcast, and, you're very big on energy. I know that it's, being, in the human body, obviously, in life, it's about energy. And, with today, I know I gotta eat, to have energy with the podcast, and chatting with you, with hearing stories and different frequencies, and how you have to definitely protect your energy. Yeah, I definitely learned and will use, actually, and still do on a daily basis.
Very cool. So definitely sending you and all your listeners lots of energy, that you really kind of all the fun and all the energy to get through the day.
Yes, yes, you're right. You're definitely right. Everyone, man, I appreciate everyone tuning in, and also Dr. Cornelia, I appreciate you for coming through here on the podcast. Change your energy, change your life, you guys. It's available now, you guys. Definitely go get a copy. The links will be down below. It's available on Amazon as well, and definitely get her free ebook as well, you guys, man. This has been a great episode. I hope you continue to thrive and have hope. A whole lot of high energy. And I definitely love the story that you shared in the beginning of, all I can think of is like one of your favorite little movies as a young boy or as a young kid. And that's some out of the movie though, but it's actually really cool, sort of how you started your journey. So amazing. Like I said, you guys, change your energy, change your life. Available now on Amazon. Grab a copy, and all the links will be down below, so you can definitely go follow Dr. Cornelia. Been a great show. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. You guys got more of the episode, and also later on the WTF moment and more. You're listening and you're watching to the 11:30 podcast, Dr. Cornelia. Thank you so much for coming through here on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, and yeah, I enjoyed it very much. And all the best with your podcast, and to your audience there. Congratulations, because they're following you and listening to your podcast, and they learn so much. I love that.
Thank you. Yo, we back here on the 11:30 podcast show. Appreciate everyone sticking with me throughout the break. Yo, Dr. Cornelia, thank you so much for coming through on this week's episode of the podcast show, episode 202. Man, oh man, it was a great show. Great having you on. I love the international flavor from Switzerland. So once again, thank you for coming through here on the 11:30 podcast show. All the links are down below, so you can definitely go follow her on social media and definitely keep up with Dr. Cornelia, man. For real. Love to have you on in a future episode. And shout out to Switzerland. Shout out to all the international subscribers, everyone who not from the United States, Mexico, Italy, the UK, all that great stuff, man. I thank everyone for definitely tuning in, man. Speaking of thanking everyone, a couple of weeks ago, I celebrated, actually 2 weeks ago, I celebrated 200 episodes of the 11:30 podcast, man. It was wonderful. It was excellent. I had my guy Warren Marlowe on the show, man. Definitely chatting dad talk right now because I'm in the midst of it, man. Like, I'm a month away from getting into the terrible twos, and for real, he act like he two already though, but it's amazing. Shout out to Warren Marlowe for coming through on the show, man. For real, we got commission talk this week, season finale, so definitely make sure you tune in to Buzzing with Marlowe and also the Beeline Entertainment LLC. But yo, also I had Kofi Brown, you guys, a legendary R&B group that was on the podcast. It was wonderful chopping them up, having them on, and man, it was real dope, man. Really dope. I thank everyone for supporting the 11:30 podcast, man. Been doing this for about 4.5 years, celebrating 200 episodes. This December will be year 5. I have shared a lot of moments that have been really important and really been special to me with you guys, man, to tune in. And I remember starting out and when I was starting getting guests and Christine, who was on the show, and I remember she was telling me, you just never know who's listening to you, and just long as that one person listening to you, and just long as that you just putting out positive, energy and positive content, man, is everything is going to be fine, man. And I think having anxiety and just the pressure, I think, is always there, and once you get used to it, um, even if you still get used to it, I think it's still there. I'm the type of guy where before episodes, man, I have this nervous anxiety, but which in a good way because I be sort of anxious and excited to do the show and be ready, man, and talk to different people. You don't know how the conversations go, just hoping to go great, you know. So, been a wonderful, wonderful journey, but the journey is only just beginning, you guys. Only just beginning. The season finale of the 11:30 podcast, you guys, is tomorrow, this Wednesday. I'm gonna have my guy Brian B on, man. We're gonna be chopping it up. We're gonna be chatting about the "Tell Me You Love Me" Sky documentary, but it's on Netflix. Um, More dad talk, wrestling, Jacob Fatu debuting in the WWE. Just what a week and a half, 2 weeks we've had in wrestling in general. In a crazy WTF moment. So you guys, man, you gotta tune in to tomorrow's season finale, episode 203 episode with my guy Brian B, the 11:30 podcast show. We'll go on a short break and it will return, you guys, this fall. My like I mentioned, my son's birthday is coming up. He's going to be 2, so taking some time to really put all my time and energy towards my son, in a way, and let's create some memories and moments. And I also said I wanted to take a little vacation from DC. I don't really take too many, but I definitely want to, man. And I said I wanted to do that last year, but the summer came and went by so fast, man. It was like, what the heck, shit. But yeah, definitely do that, man. Spend time with the fam. But also, you guys, beyond 11:30, man. Just had 10 episodes, an amazing last season with the crew, Chanel, Harley, and also my guy Brian B, who's going to be on the season finale episode this week. Yo, Beyond 11:30 is coming back next month, you guys. So you ain't gonna be, have to wait too long to see me once again or hear me. We're gonna be talking some grown folk talks, man, on Beyond 11:30. So Beyond 11:30 definitely come back in a couple weeks, man. But the 11:30 podcast show will return this fall. And speaking of talk, and also Talk Pro Wrestling, yo, that's gonna stay, man. We live this Saturday. Next Saturday, we're gonna be live too as well. I'm probably gonna be doing a Money in the Bank first time ever watch along. I got my monitor and I got some things, cooking up that I'm really trying to get popping though. And I watch Wrestling Faithful, and I know, man, my reactions. I see guys that I watch on TikTok, and you know, um, a couple of people, guys and girls that do wonderful reactions, and I wind up seeing them, and not just because I see them in WWE noticing them and using them in reaction videos when big moments like that CM Punk moment or the Rock return or whatever the case may be. Man, phew, my reactions be priceless to myself. I know it for real. My son and the way everybody be looking at me, man. So definitely trying to do a watch along. So Talk Pro Wrestling is definitely locked in, you guys, man. Yo, it's been a definitely wonderful show. Once again, Dr. Cornelia, thank you for coming through here on the 11:30 podcast show. Before we head on out of here, dog, and go, it's time for the WTF moment of. All right. It's time for the WTF moment of the week, man. And boy, I think I'm gonna keep it simple, man. I just was saying, I got a little 1 year old. It's about to be 2, man. And man, I know parents out there who are got little ones, man, and shoo, shout hats off if you got more than one. But man, my little man, I'm learning. I'm still a new dad. I'm going on 2 years as being a dad. Little man want to touch every single thing. He want to go in the room, get in the bathroom. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna let him do it. I'm gonna let him just play with it for a minute, maybe, and then I'm gonna take a picture and I gotta show you guys, man. But yeah, I had the Vaseline all over his hands, all over his face, hair, and everything. I'm like, man, what's going on? Like I was doing an episode over the weekend, and he's supposed to be in the living room. His mother's supposed to be watching him, and she is, I'm pretty sure, but he a handful, man. He a handful. He unplugged the Wi-Fi box, so I had to pause for the episode for a minute. He took the thermostat thing off the wall, and then picked up the whole cat food bag and just laid it all out on the floor, man. And he was just crying like, "Why I gotta sit still? Cause man, we gotta clean this up." And you feel me? We had no broom too. He had to get a new broom because it broke, bruh. Like WTF all the way, man. you know. And I say to myself, man, I hope my little man keep this energy when he get older and want to, leave out the house when I go out or run around. I'm like, you better keep this energy when you get 9, 10, 11 years old. Go take out the trash and do stuff around the house, dog. And I don't want to hear about no daddy. I don't feel like it. Yeah, yeah, but being a dad, man, is one of the most proudest moments, and you could really think of, man, that someone is actually calling you daddy. I talked about it. My experiences. My actual biological father wasn't in my life growing up, so I had a stepdad, and eventually, we started calling him daddy. Because he was daddy. And that was the only guy I ever called daddy, and to my memory, from what I remember to my memory from what I remember, I was only like what 2, 3 years, out of my whole entire, life, So yeah, man, to have a little one look up to me and call me daddy and daddy, I want to watch Seth freaking Rollins and I want to watch Bluey and it's amazing, man. It's so joyful. It warms your heart, especially when you try to imitate you. So hats laying around. Maybe one hat was laying around. He took the hat and picked it up and just was going around. I'm like, you look like me. You look like me. He probably saying it to not. You look like me. WTF, man. Just kids, man. Boy, they really get you. They get into every little thing and look like, what did I do? All right, yeah, man. This has been a wonderful episode. I'm out to head on out of here, you guys, man. Get ready for the season finale episode of the 11:30 podcast tomorrow, this Wednesday, with my guy Brian B. So, you guys, man, make sure you definitely pull up and tune in for real, man. And once again, Beyond 11:30 returns next month, you guys. Oh, once again, shout out to my guy Edgar from Snook Wrestling Podcast. I will be on his episode tonight, you guys, this Tuesday. And definitely check out the latest episode that he was on Talk Pro Wrestling on my show as well. But you guys, man, I'm out of words. I'm out of time. But until next time, you guys, man, stay safe, stay blessed. Give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? Yo, it's your man Dre, a.k.a. Dre on Wheels. And I'm out.
I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. 11:30 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Let's get it, yeah. Who with me? Yeah. I'm from the city, DC, that's where I'm from. Let's get it. 11:30 podcast, Dre on Wheels, he is the one. He the one, nigga. So let's get it, baby. He the one. Who with me? So Breeze, baby. Let's get it. You with me? Yeah, they gon' hate, but they ain't stopping this. I'ma keep making hits. Dre and Wills, you know it ain't no copying. Was you sitting there on the carpet with us? Yeah, we knew we had some options.